Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Azalea Kari, and this is the final week of the Pokemon Masters League regular season. And as you guys watched in the last week, I unfortunately was unable to win my match. So I am at 7-1 going into this week. Currently still in the guaranteed bye week. But fighting a bit now for seeding, as there's three of us sitting at 7-1 on the season. My last week's opponent, Draco Meteor, and someone I haven't played, but has been helping me prep my team during the season, and Nice versus Nami. So the three of us are kind of sitting there, all tied in the 1, 2, and 3 seeds. So this is a bit of an important week for seeding, in that I can get my win and keep myself and get to 8-1. And if I go to 7-2, I'm likely guaranteed to not be a to not be the 1 or 2 seed. I'd probably be the 3 seed, which is absolutely fine. I have the bye week. I'm not that worried about this week. I do want to play well, but I feel a little bit less stress going into this week. So yeah, let's go over my opponent's team. This is Steven Swagmaster and the Tampa Bay Totodiles that I will be facing this week. Steven's a longtime PML competitor. He competed in seasons 1, 2, and 3. He skipped out. He was unable to play last season, but he's back for this one. And so I'm happy to see him, and I'm happy to play him. So his team, his OU Pokemon are Annihilate, Archaludon, and Mega Alakazam. His UU Pokemon are Azumarill, Amoonguss, and Ogerpon Cornerstone. His RU Pokemon are Araquanid, Armarouge with Terra, and the Terras are Fire, Grass, and Fairy. And we have Thundurus. And his final 3 Pokemon are Xatu, Probopass, and Terra Walrein. Walrein having Water Grounding Ghost as his Terra typings. So, what do I kind of expect this week? I'm going to run this now. He's brought a large amount of Annihilate. I think he's brought Annihilate every week. I think he's brought Ogerpon pretty much every week. And he's brought Armarouge most weeks, if not every single one. And then there's some mixed combinations of the other Pokemon. I haven't seen Mega Alakazam yet, but I still have to prep for Mega Alakazam in the case that it does get brought. I don't want it to just run over my team because it's base 150 speed and can deal tons of damage before I can do anything. I either have to have a super hard counter for Mega Alakazam, or I have to like a super hard counter that I can switch in and be able to eat damage, or I have to have probably a Revenger. But yeah, we'll see what I have made my team, and so you will see here in a second the team that I will be bringing into Steven. Okay, this is the team that I will be bringing this week. We're gonna start with our first appearance of Quillfish. Quillfish is finally here. We have Rocky Helmet Quillfish. We're going to be running Poison Point this week instead of Intimidate because of Annihilate. I think that Quillfish can do a great job with both assisting into Azumarill and into Annihilate because of my Poison typing being good into like Drain Punches, and Rocky Helmets being really annoying. And into Annihilate, I know it might want to set up bulk ups, but I have plenty enough damage coming from the special side as well this week. Although I might want to take a look to change it a little more, but I think I'm okay for sure with what I have. Either way, Quillfish should do good into Annihilate. And next we have Carlos the Zapdos. We're running Boots. We're running Static. We're running pretty much max HP, max defense, bold nature on both of my Pokemon. 8 special attack in Zapdos and 8 speed in Quillfish. Hurricane, Volt Switch, Roost, Defog as my moves. Defog may not be the most necessary, but in case I struggle to get in case I struggle to get in case I struggle to get um get up hazards, but my opponent does get some hazards up, I do have defog as an option. And on the side of, and then next up we have my Rhydon, Terra Fairy Rhydon, with Eviolite. We're running 248 HP, 36 attack, 200 special defense, and 24 speed. The speed is to speed creep Araquanid to be a little bit faster than it, and Stone Edge will do plenty of work, and I think also just Terra Fairy Terra Blast should probably do a good chunk of damage. And then after, next up we have Deontay. We're rocking Bibu the Deontay with leftovers. 248 HP, 252 attack, and 8 special defense. We're running Adamant Nature, Stealth Rocks, Diamond Storm, Play Rough Encore. The reason we run Encore is because my opponent is very known for clicking setup moves, so we can Encore it with Deontay if something tries to set up in front of it. Although I don't think there's a ton of Pokemon that are going to want to do that. But it's all good. I might change Deontay's nature a little bit. I actually think that Moonblast will be a useful move. So Play Rough is probably going to change to Moonblast, and I will just run a minus speed nature. Because Deontay is going to be very slow, pretty much as is. So it should be okay. But Deontay takes care of quite a few Pokemon with its typing, and it's getting rocks up. It's so bulky. It's bulky enough to eat attacks, which is nice. Next up, we have Queen Lola, the Megalopunny. We're running 64 HP, 252 attack, 192 speed, Adamant Nature. We have Fake Out, we have Close Combat, U-Turn, and Return. Lopunny is my best answer to Revenging Ogerpon, because we can run Fake Out to get rid of Ogerpon's, because we could run Fake Out to get rid of Ogerpon's Sturdy, because Ogerpon Cornerstone is a Sturdy Mon. We can Fake Out into Close Combat for the KO. If we have to, and I feel like that's a scenario where Lopunny is coming out when everything else is gone in the match for a lot of it. I don't know if he's gonna sit there and try to outwork my Lopunny, but this is why we're running U-Turn. We can always just keep Lola around by U-turning out and getting something else in with tempo on a switch. And lastly, we have De La Soul, the Latios. Latios is going to be running Choice Scarf this week. 208 HP, 252 special attack, 48 speed, Timid Nature to outspeed Mega Alakazam. We have Draco Meteor, Thunderbolt, Trick, and Shadow Ball. Yeah, this works very well. I think making Latios super bulky is great versus making it not bulky, essentially. But Trick is a really good move into something like an Armarouge. We can kind of put Latios in front of Armarouge. That's not going to be Terra Fairy, or we can put it in front of something like we can always like put it in front of Annihilate and trick the Scarf onto the Annihilate so it can't click bulk ups, etc. I think I tried really hard to not focus that much on getting rid of setup, because in some capacity I just have the ability to deal enough damage to beat the setup Pokemon with the opposite side. So Deontay's going to want to be in front of Armarouge, and I think there's potential for me to just put Thunderbolt on Zapdos over some other move. But Hurricane is really strong against. Number one, Hurricane is good against like Armarouge without a couple of Calm Minds, but also Hurricane is very good into his other grass types. I think he has one other grass type that I just can't remember in my brain right now that I had Hurricane for. But yeah, this is absolute, like this team I think is going to do really well. And I am excited to play my final match of the regular season. and I will be back with the replay after the match has happened. And all right, my match with Steven has concluded. Let's take a look at the replay. There was a couple of things here that I was worried about. I think I ended up realizing this game had to be a very positional game. That I had to make sure that I got things in the right position, and the Pokemon I really needed to keep around was Lopunny and Zapdos. They kind of seemed like the two best Pokemon in the matchup by the end. Which means I couldn't put Zapdos in front of Ogerpon, even though I am max because Ivy Cudgel will annihilate my bird, and I had to put Lopunny in front of it to break its sturdy with Focus Sash. Break its sturdy with Fake Out. So I took a while to decide what I wanted to lead, and I decided to lead I thought about the difference between leading Deontay and leading Rhydon, and because I wasn't 100% sure. I expected to see... I didn't know what I was expecting to see, and I think I wanted Rhydon in because Rhydon can click rocks and click Terra if it has to. So I ended up deciding on a Rhydon lead. So let's get this going. So I led off with Stealth Rocks. I think here I probably could have just clicked Earthquake. I think that would have also just been perfectly reasonable. Because instead I got Encored into Rocks and I had to switch. So I knew switching in on something. I knew I was switching in on a Swords Dance because it just seemed too obvious. And there was a good chance that he could have just clicked he honestly could have just clicked like Ivy Cudgel or something. But instead here he goes to +2. And so I decided that I'm gonna click Fake Out, and no matter what comes in, yeah, I might be taking chip damage from a Rocky Helmet. But if I don't, then I'm breaking his Sash. So I got a critical hit Fake Out. No matter what, my close combat always KOs here. So I made the decision to click U-turn instead. Or no, I clicked close combat. I thought about clicking U-turn because no matter what switched, but I wanted to make sure that in case that he didn't switch, I think the switch was always there, but in case it was Archaludon, I would catch it going into a big play. And here I know that he's gonna click, and here I know he's clicking Spore because he's a Moongus. So I have to decide what I want put to sleep. And I decided to give it to Zapdos because Zapdos could wake up and maybe use like Hurricane or something into it. Instead my opponent switches to Archaludon. I do take my turn of sleep. And here, I woke up and I clicked Volt Switch because I think that was the best click always. And I could have probably determined that this was AV from this, but it was resisted, and so I wasn't so sure that it was Assault Vest. So I switched over to Quillfish here. And I just started putting down spikes. I get T-waved. We've got Ogerpon in. So I set a second layer of spikes. Ivy Cudgel doing 47%, and then I got full parried, which is very unfortunate. I get Ivy Cudgel again, luckily no crit, and I was able to get a Gunk Shot off. And then the Gunk Shot 30% poison lands, which gets rid of the Ogerpon. So Quillfish in probably its only game of the season comes in, gets a KO on an Ogerpon Cornerstone, and then I proceeded to set proceeded to forget about Magic Bound, so I set spikes against myself. I missed a Gunk Shot, and then I opted to just flip turn out and use him as a switch later. And here I brought Zapdos back in, threatening Volt Switch or Thunderbolt. Getting Armarouge in. I did click T-Bolt here. So yeah, I ended up defog. I chose to defog here because I looked and I realized that most of my team doesn't really want to take spikes damage. Maybe I'm just supposed to ignore it, but I felt like it gave my team much less of a chance. And then I just clicked Volt Switch to get out on that, and then I brought Deontay in. And unfortunately for me, Deontay just got put down very low by a Psychic. I wasn't expecting Psychic. I wonder if my opponent was expecting, like, some other switch. I think this could have been where I sacked Quillfish, which I ended up doing. If I just sacrificed Quillfish in the first place, I probably was fine. But now as is, Deontay can't come in on this thing. So they do switch, and I use Fake Out. I guess I was just like thinking Fake Out's really good, and will put Armor Rouge in return distance. Instead here I opt to just deal a ton of damage. And now I know there's a switch coming, and so I probably once again should probably like once again just click U-turn, knowing that they're gonna switch because they can't take the damage. But I do get good damage off here, 28%, and we know that Amoonguss is Black Sludge and not Amoonguss not being Black Sludge makes my life a bit easier with this. For sure. I just click U-turn, and I just opt to put Latios in, which I think this was a mistake, to be honest. We're like, I think I'm just supposed to essentially, I think I was probably supposed to switch out at some point, but here I just wanted the sleep to go away. Because sleep turns reset. I woke up and I clicked Draco, which was really strong. But it turned out that my opponent was Assault Vest. And I just, and my Latios just goes down. However, that's okay. Absolutely okay by me. Now I bring Lopunny in, and Lopunny takes out our Chaladin. In comes Amoonguss. I click U-turn on it, and I bring in Zapdos to get put to sleep. And then I end up switching. I actually wanted to switch. I wanted to double back expecting a switch. And I did get the switch correct. And I ended up clicking return, and I think I ended up clicking it again. My opponent just brings back Amoonguss, and I'm seeing how much damage that is. That is so much damage. He can't sleep me. He's forced to click some other move. He clicks Sludge Bomb, does 32%. And here he's forced to switch out, and I click another return into Armor Rouge and do 56%, which does activate this. I calced it, and maybe I'm wrong. I didn't think I was slower. I should calc this really quick. No. What is max? This. Mega Lopunny. +1. Okay, so, they're faster than me. This is exactly, like, faster than me. So, that was unfortunate for me to not get the calc correct. I was at 354 speed, so I always was slower. And, my opponent, he Terran and clicked Destiny Bond. And I didn't snuff out that it was going to be a Destiny Bond click. That was a really good click by my opponent to take out my Lopunny, because Lopunny would have just cleaned up the fight. I think Lopunny would have just won had I not. But instead, now I brought in my Zapdos. Zapdos is still asleep, so I just have to like bear with it. Click Hurricane, miss Hurricane. So that's 0 of 1 Hurricanes. Bulk up. I click Defog. So I missed one, and I decided that actually that was without a boost on no. That was without Rage Fist boost, I guess. Because he didn't take any damage. And he got confused and hit himself in confusion, which was really nice. So it forced the switch into Amoonguss, and I hit a Hurricane on the Amoonguss switch. So I missed what? I missed 2 out of 4 Hurricanes. I missed half my Hurricanes. I thought I clicked more. I only clicked 4, though, this game. And then he brought in Zapdos, he clicked Tailwind, I clicked Thunderbolt, and that was game. So 50% Zapdos. You did all right. You got the dub. 3 KOs for Carlos. And Quillfish gets a knockout, and I believe the other 2 were Lopunny. Lopunny took out Armor Rouge and took out our Chaladin. So at the end of the season, I believe that Mega Low Punny comes out with the most KOs. I have to add it up, but I'm not sure. I haven't added up I haven't added up my knockouts from last week as well. So I will get those in, and then I will go over that. I will go over my regular season stats next week. I can go over things at the regular season next week and go over the playoff picture because I will not be playing a match next week. So I will make another little video going over playoffs because I think that would be really cool. Anyways, thank you so much everybody for tuning in. And thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, please leave a subscribe, and hit the notification bell to know when these videos come out. And please let me know how far you think I can go in the playoffs. With a bye, I am guaranteed top 8, but can I go top 4? Can I go top 2? Or do you maybe think I'll even win the whole season? Go ahead and put that down in the description below. And I look forward to seeing what everybody has to say. Until next time, after my longest battle of the season, thank you for watching. I will see you for playoffs.